Welcome to The Direct Line, the official podcast for OADSP. We're excited to have you here with us today, and if you have comments, suggestions, or if you want to join us in studio as a guest, reach out to me at podcast@oadsp.org.
I'm David Rustio, and today I am speaking with Jarrod Hunt. Welcome to the show, Jarrod.
Thank you, David.
How are you today?
Good. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
No, actually, you invited me to your place because we are at your place, I think.
You know, you did get past the front desk lady, so
That was tough.
I know you woke her up.
Will she listen to this podcast?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Okay, all right.
This is going to be great.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun this morning.
Yeah.
But we figured it out. I mean, I did go to the wrong address.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but I figured it's going to give you plenty of time to get settled in. I made my grand entrance and everything.
You did.
So
You did.
I hope it turned out great, but I'm glad you made the trip up here.
Well, I did, and who knew that you had 72 locations within a 10-mile range?
Yeah, absolutely. We try to keep people on their toes.
Well, you can hide gooder.
Yeah, you should imagine the light bulb bill that we have around here. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So tell us about yourself.
Well, geez, I have to say, I love life.
Okay.
I love what's going on here. I did not expect my life to go the way it did.
Okay.
And am so happy that it has turned out in a way other than what I wanted.
Okay.
But the great stuff about it is married to an amazing woman that keeps me going every day, gave me two beautiful daughters. We we have a family that just keeps growing, and we just stay busy. So one of the things that we talked about around here this morning is that aside from just operating Winwreath, we have a couple other businesses. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the sport of CrossFit.
Okay. What on earth is CrossFit?
CrossFit is defined as constantly varied functional movement executed at high intensity. And when we say that, it terrifies people.
Oh, yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah, they think this is craziness. And if, unfortunately, this is a podcast and people can't see how scrawny I am, nothing to be intimidated by. But, you know, it really does lend itself very, very well to what we're doing here. And that is that CrossFit is unfortunately, maybe it becomes a lifestyle. We think about it as an exercise methodology, but it's really a way of getting people as fit and healthy as possible. It starts with proper nutrition, and we know that our diets, most people's diets are real far off base, and it's not their fault. It's kind of a systemic thing, but we start with eating good, moving well, being as fit as possible. That high intensity thing is specific to each person, and people see the sport of CrossFit, and that's really showcasing highlights of what we do in the gym. But it's everyday people like you and I getting together, moving through workouts led by professional coaches, and just being as healthy as possible. But the neat thing is what happens over the course of that, and that is that we build community. It's a group of like-minded people all trying to be as healthy and live as best of life as possible. Mm-hmm. It's what we see here at Winwreath every day. So we can see where everything falls into place. We're just the ones that get up at 4 a.m. and do that before we come into the office and work all day.
Well, how nice. Now,
Sounds fun, doesn't it?
well, I get up at 6. Today I got up at 5.
Yeah.
I like to go to bed early and get up early and beat everybody to the office.
Yeah.
And I get more done.
Absolutely.
Because once people arrive.
Yep. I see that here. So I fell victim to that, and I just let them come first. I'll start my day. We'll get a good workout in. And unfortunately with my job, it has me sitting at a desk all day, most every day. And I want to try to move around, be as healthy as possible. So another fact about me here is Winreath has been here just over 30 years. We've been in business. Wow. I have been with the company the entire time that we've been in business, which has been just about 70% of my life. I have been here. Started out a good many years working direct support and worked my way up through the ranks. And I suppose we'll talk about that. But to the point now where, unfortunately, I'm far removed from the front lines. I'm sitting at a desk and still want to be as healthy as possible so I can be here and continue with our mission as long as I can.
So if we went back 70, 80 years when you were planning out your life, what was your plan? What were you going to do?
My big dream was that I was going to get into law enforcement. Okay. I was going to be...
You kind of are.
Well, it's kind of a funny thing. Kind of am. That was my dream, setting out, going to school. I wanted to be a U.S. Marshal. I was going to go out and catch the bad guys. That was before corrective eye surgery, and I'm legally blind. So that disqualified me from being able to do that. But I kind of continued on that path through college, ended up getting a job in law enforcement and working as a local police officer alongside working here as I was working through the different positions at Winreath. And ultimately getting to where I'm at, I thought, I might need a backup job. If I run this business into the ground, I might need something else to fall back on. So I stayed in law enforcement, and I worked at a police department for 10 years. Okay. Over that time, I was working on the road, and I also worked in dispatch as a 911 dispatcher, which gave me some pretty valuable training as well. When I look back on it, and I've been here at the company over 30 years, alongside that, I spent 10 years in law enforcement. And there was a day when I looked around and thought, God, why? What was that all about? Why did you have me, spend all this time in law enforcement just to continue to be here? But then fast forward to the services that we as an agency are providing now I get it.
Sure. You're not alone, myself included, had never considered, didn't even know this industry existed.
Yeah.
Until I needed a job.
Yeah.
And somebody said, I have a job. I don't know if you'll like it or not, but it was to be a home manager.
Yeah.
Didn't even know these things were out there. Changed my life. I was going to do it for a year till I got a good job.
Yeah.
And then move on to the real job of my life. Never looked back.
We see that story so many times, and that was me. I started out my first 4 years full-time direct support. That's all that I did. I would never have looked back. Even 80 years ago, when I was thinking about all this, I would have never looked back and thought that I would be working for an agency like this. I am just so thankful that God's plans for my life are far better than my own, and that he found a way to use me here. And I'll say that everything that I tried to do pushed me to stay here. And now that I'm a little bit wiser, a lot a bit older, I am so happy that I was kind of faithful to that and have been allowed to be in this position now. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, you kind of hit on it, but I'm going to ask you directly. Yeah. What is it you do for a living?
I don't know. That's a great question.
What do you do today?
Yeah, and that's kind of the question. Technically, I am the chief executive officer of Winreath, so I am the one that sets the vision for the company and tries to push us in that direction. We have an amazing team of leaders here, and they're really the ones that get the job done. And I think that anyone can see that from any organizations. really, again, I have the idea, I have the vision, but the people that are really making it work, the talent that puts things into play, are all of the leaders that we have here, and they do it. So from there, I'm support for them,
Sure.
and just try to keep things moving forward. But like you've alluded to, every day is different. You never know what you're going to get, and especially with organizations like this. It just depends. There are certain tasks that I have every single day that I do myself. But other than that, anything else that comes up that I might need to support our different positions here, different leaders, I'd like to be here for that. Really, I like to be able to just make myself as a resource to help the folks throughout the company.
So tell us about Winwreath.
So Winwreath actually is a family-owned company. Okay. It's named after my grandparents, Winfred and Retha Mary.
All right.
They had passed away just shortly before we opened for business in 1994. Okay. And we started with an individual that didn't have a home and really needed one. And so we were born out of that need, and really making sure that it was families taking care of family. And our family thought that it would be a great idea to name it after Grandma and Grandpa. It was my father.
It's an honor.
Yeah. They were amazing people. And so was my dad that originally founded the company.
Okay.
And I just worked alongside him. He didn't really cut me as much slack as I would have hoped he would. So made me work my way up. Nope, you're going to be working full-time, midnights, direct support, anything that I needed to do. He made sure that I experienced it and got through. But as an organization, we've always challenged ourselves to provide for whatever care our folks needed. And I'll say kind of my joyful inspiration type of story that I might have to go along with that was the first person that we ever served. Like I said, he didn't really have a home. He had been bounced around from institution to institution his entire life. Mm. He had been abused, had been beaten, and had a horribly sad story. My father told his father, with us, you do not have to worry about him ever again. He will always have a place with us. And we started that, and it was, we had 2 DSPs working with him 24 hours a day. When we first started serving him, we were told he would never be able to be integrated into the community, would never be able to work at workshops, and there were some challenging factors that we had to deal with. By the end of his life, he was fantastic, and it was well before that. He was integrated into the community. He was caring and loving and was everything that we would hope to show for all of the care that our staff had for him. And we cared for him until the day he passed. My father kept his word to his father and took amazing care of him. And that was just through his leadership and setting the company up to be able to just care for people no matter what. And that's been my personal mission, to be able to keep our word for how we do that.
You've mentioned leaders multiple times. How do you build leaders here at Winwreath?
That is a really complicated.
Well, give us the third grade answer.
We like to set a standard and walk alongside people that are already gifted and support them to be able to adhere to that, to support them to take ownership of things here. And, we're just recognizing tremendously talented folks and supporting them as they are supporting others. No matter what service you look at here around the company, we provide that service through people. We are in the business of just providing people. And we know that we have to be as supportive and mindful as possible to make sure that we have great staff, because great staff will result in great services to the people that we serve, which is obviously ultimately our goal. I don't know. I feel like I'm not necessarily the person to talk about how to make great leaders, but we're all in this together. We somehow have lucked out and have been called to all be able to serve people. And no matter what positions our folks are in here, they roll up their sleeves and they support each other. Here's what we get.
Well, you demonstrate leadership, and people say that's the right way to go, and they become leaders too.
Yeah, it's definitely been a blessing to be able to see what's happening here, and to replicate that, I couldn't imagine.
It's hard.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
So how many folks do you serve?
All in all, we serve about 400 people across the state.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. And that number is always changing. The folks that we're serving are always changing. We used to provide a whole lot of in-home services, homemaker personal care stuff.
Sure.
Through the privatization of county boards, we got, or of day programs, we got into providing ADS and NMT services.
Okay, now those are acronyms for what?
So we got into providing adult day support.
Okay.
And then the transportation that goes along with it, NMT or non-medical transportation services to get them to and from. And that was really challenging ourselves. When we started out providing direct support staffing, we immediately started taking on folks that had a lot of behavioral challenges, required environmental modifications, and this was back in the 90s. So this was a process for providers.
Sure.
And we did it. But then we expanded. So not only was it direct support and that environmental modification, all of those services, privatization, we start providing those day support services and NMT. And then COVID rolls around and changed things even more. Luckily for us, just prior to COVID, actually, I think it was 2013-ish, maybe, we got into this whole arena that we're in now of remote support, and really wanted to pioneer a new way of providing services. Since the beginning, we've tried to be innovative and always provide services to people in new and different ways. The technology services, remote support that we're doing now, assistive tech services that we're doing now, has really been what we provided more of. Post-COVID, we know that we got into this huge staffing crisis.
Sure.
It really caused us to change the way we do business. We know that during hard times like that, bad businesses will fall away. Good businesses survive. Great businesses will change and thrive.
Right.
I hope to think that we are a great business that has been able to adapt, change, and thrive with the changes. We may not necessarily be where I want us to be as an end goal, but are on an amazing path. And that's caused us to really change the way we implement services. So we do some homemaker personal care services still, providing more and more day services and NMT services. The majority of people that we serve right now are technology related, probably.
And you and I are going to do, we're having a separate conversation about those services specifically. So, folks, tune in
Yeah.
if you want to know more about remote supports in the grind of those things and other technologies.
Yes. Yes. Amazing stuff.
It is, and it's fascinating, and I can't wait for people to hear our other episode.
Yeah.
Maybe they already have. I don't know.
This will be great. It'll be
Well, thank you, Jarrod. Thank you for your time, hospitality, and letting me spend some time today with your folks.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We love it. We love having you here and just being able to share what we're up to.
All right. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening, and join us next time on The Direct Line.